Okay, one of the best ways you can save a ton of dough doing renovation projects is to learn how to spackle properly. I'm going to show you three different size knives that I use, spackle knives. There's a 4-inch, there's an 8-inch, and then this is a 12-inch. And I use all of them because on each progressive, successive coat of spackle, I get a little wider with the joint, right? I don't sand much at all when I spackle because I do each coat with a nice feather, a little bit wider, and then you don't end up not having to sand much. All right, and I'm going to show you this too. We have a white paper tape that I use, and then I've got my spackle pan, my mud pan here, okay? And so what I'm going to do is show you now how to do the first step, which would be to tape the joint. All right, so we're going to do that. Okay, to demonstrate how to do a joint when you have two pieces of sheetrock that butt up to each other, I'm just going to take this 4-inch. It's actually the easiest one to learn on. Typically I'll actually start with the 8-inch, but when you're first learning, I think a 4-inch is probably a lot more manageable. I'm just going to go ahead and put the mud on, and then I'm going to spread it out. Make sure that it's at least as wide as the tape is. Okay? And then I'm going to take the tape, and you want to clean the spackle knife off. You want to scrape it and make sure it's clean. And you only want to use one side, never go back and forth using both sides. You see that? Okay. Now, you want to keep spackle off the top of the tape. You don't want to get spackle on that dry side, and then you just rub it down. That's how you would spackle that joint. All right, get all the excess out. Make sure you feather it nice. You don't want any real hard edges on either side of spackle. All right, that's step one. You let that dry 24 hours before the second coat. I'll show you that next. Okay, now this is a tape joint that's dried for 24 hours. I'm going to use the 8-inch. All right, I'm going to put some mud on the edge. You can see I got that on the edge. I don't have it on the back side, just the one side. And then I'm going to go ahead and spread this out. Make sure you get a decent amount on here. So you can always scrape it off. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and run my blade down an angle. See how smooth that is. Now you don't want to play with the muds. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to give a light feather to putting pressure on the outside edge. And then I won't have to sand so much. All right, now I'll show you the final step, number 3. All right, so here's one that's had 2 steps. Now I got my 12-inch blade. I'm going to get a decent amount on here. Pull it away from the corner. And then get some vertical strokes. Again, keeping that back side nice and clean. You have a high spot, put a little extra mud in there, and then you feather nice and easy. And just get a nice wide stroke of that. Look at that. That's going to require very little sanding, if any. Putting a little pressure on the outside edge. And that's it. Done. I may do a 4th real light coat. Mix that mud up real good, but I may not have to. So that's it. That's how you spackle. Save yourself a ton of dough. It takes a lot of practice though. Give it a shot. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about drywall corners. This is a metal beaded corner that I like to use, and this is something, it comes in 8 to 10 foot lengths, and you just place it over your corner like that, and then you would nail it in with a ring shank drywall nail. 1 3/8 is good. You already have preset holes here, and you just go ahead and put your nails in, and then you're going to put your mud on here. I'll show you how to do that also. And then for an inside corner, you could say I already have one done here. You've got that same hard bead in the middle with paper. It's very similar to this, and then you would just tape it into the corner just like that. Okay, just like you do the regular joints with mud behind it and squeegee it out. And then once you get that set, what you can do is take your spackle knife, and you always work away from that. You want to start in the corner and just pull it out. Just like that. Get a nice wide joint. You'll do a lot less sanding that way. Make that nice and smooth. Okay? And that's it. Pretty simple. For the outside corner, I'm going to show you this one right here. I did this side yesterday. Okay, now if you look on the inside, I can show you, this is just after the first coat. What you do is you start in the corner and just pull that away. Get a little bit on here, and then you're going to run it vertical. And you're going to put some pressure on the edge of that, and then just run it down vertical. And you see how smooth that becomes. Okay, and then you can just knock this off of here like that. And when it dries, you might have just a little bit of sand on there. You can see how nice and smooth, feathered away from the corner, the joint, and no sanding. God, I hate the sand. That's why I learned how to do it like this. So, I'll understand one more joint. Sorry, one more corner. I have these arches that I created. So they make a special one. You notice this. Let me see if I can get this up here. You see this? This is just a corner bead, right? But it's a vinyl and it's got slits in it. So I'm going to place this up on my arch, just like that, and I would do it the same way. I nail this in, and then just mud it up the same way that I would do the corners. So there you go, make a nice arch. So there's a little primer on corners, but you got to practice.